So, this video is for Dr. Zero Zeron. Gave me a free copy of his book. I like Dr. Zero. I like Dr. Zero. Uh, Read your book. Uh, I skipped a couple pages. I ain't gonna lie. I skipped a couple pages towards the end. So I can't say that I read it in the entirety, but I read most of it. It's a good book. It's a good book, but unfortunately, if you want my honest opinion, you still you need, which is weird because your book is original. I don't think there's a lot of books like that out there. I personally wanted to make a book like that, and it was gonna be called something in the same lines. I had the idea of a book where I was just gonna write crazy nonsense for like 100+ pages, and I was gonna call it Ravings of a Madman. And so I like the style of it. It's interesting. It's interesting because it's your life story, so of course it's interesting. And this is well, for people that didn't receive a copy or that is currently going to go get a copy or something like that. It is a life story. I thought there was gonna be more about magic, which there is. But it's a good. You mix both at the same time. So the way that it's written is good. The style of it is entertaining. The book is entertaining. But there's a major holdup in there. There's a lot of Illuminati essence, right? There's a hard Illuminati presence in your book. I don't know if that's on purpose. I don't know if it's because you're one of those people I was talking about that today. I don't know if you're like one of those people that's kind of I'm trying to flip the Illuminati shit over on his head. You can't do that. Okay? That doesn't work. Okay? Forget about what they have. Leave it to them. It's theirs. Okay, even if you understand that it was once yours, it's not yours anymore. Okay, move on. Seriously, move on. Because of that, there's a lack of originality in your book, and it's mainly because of the Illuminati influence that you have. And this is not a diss. I'm not trying to diss. This is critical. This is a critical critique of your book, and it kind of transpires over to your YouTube, which your YouTube is very interesting and very entertaining. But you can tell from watching some stuff. You got dualities, you got black and white, you got symbolisms. And I understand there's a lot of people that try to flip the Illuminati stuff over their heads. I'm not trying to say that you're Illuminati, I don't know, but there's a heavy Illuminati influence in it. I wouldn't say that you're Illuminati. Maybe you're familiar, judging by what I read. Judging by what I read, it seems like you're familiar. I don't know what exactly your goal is, and I don't think that's what the book is about. You do talk about your aspirations, obviously, and what you have done and what you're going to do, so that's great, and I wish you the best on that. But like I said, it's missing originality. It's missing individualism. It's like, who are you? I don't know who you are at the end of the day. Like you said a lot of things without saying anything, right? Which is, if I can judge by how you proceed, I would say that that's on purpose. right? But now the dilemma is, I don't know if you made the book for it to be entertaining, or you made the book because you wanted to make a book, like you wanted to talk about something else, right? So, you know, but whichever the case, it's still entertaining. It's still good, especially for I don't know if you consider yourself a amateur writer or a veteran writer. I'm not sure, but definitely a neophyte. Like you say, definitely a neophyte. On that stance, perfect. On that stance, perfect. But would I recommend it? I would recommend this book to people that are currently living the same situation you lived or are living. I would recommend it to those people. But I will also I would also say to those people to be very careful, because you have still, might I have to say, a very Illuminati influence behind your writing, behind your entire life, because the book is about your life. And there's like a very hard, palpable Illuminati essence to it, which made the book difficult to enjoy. I don't know if that was on purpose. Maybe it was, because you do like lunacy. So I don't know. I'm giving you my honest opinion, and I might be wrong. I don't think I'm wrong about the heavy Illuminati influence, though. But maybe you're not a familiar. Maybe you're just a person. So nevertheless, good job. Good job. I didn't know that you were that you had such sexual experiences. I didn't know you had such sexual experiences just by looking at you, obviously. Me. So I hope, before I say what I wanted to say, I hope you don't feel offended by some of the things that I say on my YouTube channel. And if you are, I completely understand. But if I have to defend myself, I have to say that I understand that there's like good people and bad people, but you have to generalize when you have a YouTube channel. When you're talking to multiple people at the same time, you have to generalize. You can't really, and then it's the person's job to be like, well, to talk to you in private and shit, like, so, yeah, it's a good book, man. It's a good read, man. It's a good read nonetheless. But like I said, it's hard to digest, because there's a lot of, there's a heavy influence in there. And I would say, find your individualism, man. Find your individuality. Find your individuality. Stop. Well, you don't have to listen to what I say, but me personally, like, with me, when I was younger, I used to think the same way. I used to think that I was king of the world and I could do anything and nothing could stop me, and I could just judo flip things if something happened and blah blah blah, and it didn't help. It didn't pan out. It made things worse. It was kind of like I was cursing myself, because you end up with people you don't want to end up hanging out with, because what you say matters. The words that you use matters. And if you encode certain programs into the matrix, because when you're talking, you're creating code, and the matrix is gonna record the codes. and then it's going to create life according to the code that you implemented in it. So, and Illuminati is something extremely vicious. It's vicious and sadistic. So when you're trying to judo flip something vicious and sadistic, you have to expect to have that energy around you, because that's the energy that you're trying to proclaim, right? So that's why I stopped claiming Illuminati things. Now I don't practice anything that has anything to do with Illuminati. Anything that's even remotely close to anything that looks Illuminati, I steer clear of it, because I don't want to live with sadistic, malicious, and vicious people. I'm not interested. That's not me. That's not me. That doesn't mean that I only hang around like goody two shoes, but we're not sadistic. We're not malicious or vicious, or devious for that matter. I just ran out of words that finish with us. So yeah, I would tell you, like, this is not a critique. This is like a personal advice from one person to another, like from one friend to another. I would say find your individualism, man. Like, drop all that shit. Like, drop everything. Start fresh. Like, I like your ninjutsu thing that's going on. I like that. I like that. I don't know where you're going with the ninjutsu thing, but that's pretty dope. Because ninjutsu, I do think exists. I do think shadow realm powers exist, since I'm a shadow realmer myself. Um, I like that. I like that. I think it's that's original. I haven't seen anybody really talking about. There has been mentions, but I haven't seen anybody actually like create a magic system with actual ninjutsu. That would be fucking crazy as dope. And I don't even think there is a magic system with ninjutsu, because ninjutsu is fictional. So if somebody like actually created a jutsu magic form, that would be insane. Like, that would be badass. And like, it could send you down another spiral of insanity, but it'll be healthier. It would be like a healthier spiral of insanity, man. Give me a second. My camera's off. It's like it's worse. All right. Oh, that's a lot better. Okay. So, I would actually consider that would be dope. That would be dope. I wanted to do that myself. I'm not gonna lie. Uh, but if you create a ninjutsu magic system, it's gonna take a lot of hard work, and apparently I don't have time, because I'm currently creating a technomancy magic system, so I don't have time for ninjutsu. But I think ninjutsu is pretty badass. I do ninjutsu also, so I got ninjas. I'm very I got ninjas, and they're very deadly. They're very deadly ninjas. So I firmly believe in ninjutsu. I'm not just saying that. I firmly believe in ninjutsu. Like, if I could practice technomancy and ninjutsu and jutsu magic, I totally would. So find your individualism, man. Like, forget all that Illuminati shit. Forget everything you learn. Forget everything that you learn, man. Forget and I mean like everything. Forget your emotions. Forget your train of thought. All that stuff is meant to keep you grounded. The way you feel, because even the way we feel, we've been told how to feel it. Like, we've been told how to feel. Like, we listen to, there's you have a punk rock influence, right? But at the end of the day, where does punk rock comes from? It came from the same machine that created hip hop. It comes from the same machine that created pop. It comes from the same machine that created, rock music, And so, yeah, maybe death metal is considered underground, but it's not. It's not really underground. There's no such thing as underground music, because the underground scene died back in 1995. Nobody has garage bands anymore. Nobody does that. I mean, sure, there's some people that still, do music, but the underground community as a whole, it's dead. Man, that shit's dead. And actually, the Illuminati took over the underground. So there's no underground, period. So I would say, forget everything. Start fresh. Well, you don't have to, because it depends on what you want out of life. It depends on what you want out of life. If you want your mind to be free and you want to actually achieve some form of higher elevation, you gotta let all that shit go, man. You gotta let all that shit go, bro. Like, that shit is gonna keep you down. It's not gonna help you go up. It's gonna keep you down. It's gonna keep you on a low frequency. It's gonna keep you on a low frequency, like, and I get in your book. You're like you're actually doing better now. Obviously, you're kind of on a roll. You're kind of on fire, doctors. I kind of notice you're kind of on fire. So you're obviously doing better now. But if that's still like ruminating inside of you, I would say, as a friend to another friend, I would say just drop everything, man. Like, forget all that you know. Forget all that you know and realize that you know absolutely nothing. You're like a baby, and now you have to learn how to walk, But the joy of claiming the Illuminati as your own is that you don't have to walk. You can just run. I would call it tumbling down the cliff, at a very fast pace, because that's more what it's like. When we're talking about Illuminati stuff, you're like tumbling down the cliff extremely fast at light speed, But like I said, it's a choice thing. I don't want to be around serial rapists and and pedophiles and all kinds of. I don't want to be anywhere near that, and that's what these guys are about. So my choice is a spiritual choice, but it's also a personal choice. It's also a personal life choice. I made the choice in my life that I don't want that stuff around me. I'm confused on why there's not more people that don't want that kind of stuff around them. It's very confusing, and I'm very disturbing at the same time. It's horrific, actually. But I guess that's the world that we live in today. A lot of people are prone to live and support serial rapists and serial child molesters. And that's the reality that we live in. But me, that's not what I want to live in. I don't want to live in that sort of world. I would consider this book to my sister, because she's a little bit like you. I don't know if I can, because you gave me a free copy and I don't want you to lose money and shit. But I would recommend it to my sister, So And like I said, I mean, like, you do have Illuminati influence. I hope you're not. I hope you're just marginalized. I was talking about that today. I hope you're just marginalized and not, And I was hoping. It's funny because I was actually hoping. Like I saw your marginalized influence in the book, obviously, but I was kind of hoping that it was gonna die down. Like it was gonna go somewhere else. You know. So sorry for that. you know. I kind of thought it was gonna go somewhere else, but you kind of stayed in this marginalized zone, and you gotta come out of that shit, man. You gotta like if you're be disciplined in who you are, bro. Like, cause who you are is not a joke. I mean, like it's not like, and when I mean discipline, like if you're a couch potato, be serious about being a couch potato. Don't be a couch potato halfway. You know what I mean? Like if you're a couch potato, you next week when I come see you, you better be on the fucking couch. You know what I mean? Like be disciplined in who you are, bro. Like cause this marginalized shit, this whole I'm running away from my own power shit is it's kind of yeah, like it's you know, nah, like I can't, like I can't. How do you want me to feel that? That's not something you can feel, bro. Like you're running away from yourself, man. How can I, like, how do you want me to digest that? Like I can't, like, I mean, you can do whatever you want. It's your life. I'm not your mom, I'm not your dad, but like, it's kind of, like be serious about yourself. Take yourself seriously. Take yourself seriously. Like if you're a couch potato and you know everything about being a couch potato, like if you're a couch potato god, then be a couch potato god, bro. Because maybe your godly couch potatoism is going to help me some way somehow. Because if you're the god of couch potatoes, that means you can do couch potato magic. You know what I mean? So if I go see you, it's for couch potato magic. like, like I need that protection. I need that couch potato protection. You know what I mean? Like, cause sometimes you in some shit, or you're depressed, or everything seems to be just falling apart, and then you go see your couch potato friend. You know what I mean? But he's not just a couch potato. He's the god of couch potatoes. I can respect that. If you're the god of couch potatoes, I will respect that, bro. And you're not gonna hear me complain about you. Oh, why don't you get a job? Blah 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 blah. You're not gonna hear me say shit like that because you're the god of being a couch potato. You know what I mean? Just being around you is a blessing. Just being around you is a blessing. You know what I mean? So, it's just like I just feel like people don't take themselves seriously. Like they just and that's horrible. Because that's what makes people want to go with the Illuminati and shit like that. That's what makes people sell out. Because they don't take themselves seriously. They don't see themselves as a human being. And then they treat other people like they're not human beings. You don't treat people like a human being because you don't see yourself as a human being, bro. Like, so it's just a vicious, malicious circle that goes round and round. It's a snake eating its own tail, but it's a different kind of snake, and it's not a very good kind of snake, and you want to get away from that kind of snake tutelage, But apart from that, it's a good book. It's interesting. It's very entertaining. Very, very surprised that you were able to write on that level. Me, myself, personally, I don't write like that. I write instruction books. I don't really write literary semi-fictional autobiographies, which is what this book is. There's not a lot of fiction in it. I'm not even sure why I said fiction, but anyways. Well, you talk about magic, so whatever, science fiction, I guess. But yeah, there's some good stuff in there. There's some good parts. And actually the parts that are more heavily Illuminati influenced are some of the interesting parts. So it's kind of funny to say, because he's like explaining his life and the things that he went through and the things that he goes through. And there's a little bit of madness in it too. A little bit of grandiose madness too. So anyway, that's my critique of the book, Apex Unhinged. Shit. You've been good to me, Dr. Zero. You've been very good to me, man. You've been very good to me, man. But I can't recommend it. I can't recommend it. I can't recommend it because the Illuminati influence in there is too heavy. People are easily influenced, and you need to write another book. You need to do it again. I would say like start over. I would say start over. Write another book. Because that one is good if you're trying to get a sponsorship from the Illuminati. So I don't know if that was your aim, but if it was, then like you know what I mean. It looks like you're trying to get a sponsorship. It's like you're in competition to get a sponsorship from the Illuminati. So I would say start over. And this is my honest opinion. And if you hate me for the rest of your life for saying that, I completely understand. And I completely understand, and I am humbly sorry about that. But like I said, and everything I just told you is something that I would tell somebody that I actually care about, and not somebody that I don't care about. If I didn't care about you, this video would have been 5 minutes tops. So, like, you do what you want to do with that information, But, like I said, you're a good writer. You're a good writer. You should keep writing. You're a very good writer, actually. You should keep writing. And it was fun to read because I don't know what to read nowadays. And everything seems fucking boring. And this was not boring. And I'm actually going to go and finish the pages that I didn't finish. And I'm not gonna feel bad about it because I don't think it's a waste of time. So, and these are that's a very good thing to say before you start hating me for the rest of your life. Like those are very good compliments that I just threw at you right there. So like I would rather read that than I would rather read this book than a bunch of weird grimoires that because I usually read grimoires. That's what I read. I read a lot of grimoires, and I don't read a lot of like literature and shit. Like I read grimoires. So and the grimoires that we have today are kind of boring and overly complicated for no reason. So I would technically, if I had to choose reading one of my grimoires and that book, I would choose your book. I would read your book instead, and I would not feel any way, shape, or form like I'm wasting my time. So with that said, I am going to let you go with that one. Have a good one. Please don't hate me for the rest of your life. Mr. Zero, Mr. Dr. Zero, please don't hate me for the rest of your life. You can hate me a little bit. But don't hate me for the rest of your life, please. And like I said, we should probably talk about that in private or make a video about it. Maybe that would be better, so you can publicly defend yourself if you feel like you need to publicly defend yourself. You can make a video about it or email me, or I'm gonna email you eventually anyways. But this whole, you have a lot of, like I said, you have a lot of influence, so individualism. But apart from that, individualism, rewrite your book with your individualism in it. Forget everything about life, and I mean absolutely. You love punk, forget about punk rock. You'll go back to punk rock later. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Facts. I'm not kidding. Like, you'll thank me later. Like forget every fuck. That's what I did. I when I realized that, when I understood life as a whole, well, society, and then I went into magic, I saw that there was, like, I have to, because magic is not easy to do. And if you have, there's certain types of magic, if you have mental blockages, you'll never be able to practice magic. And magic works when you believe in magic. Like it's like believing in God. It's like having faith. Like, if you don't have any faith, it's just not gonna work, right? And the thing about magic is, like, if you believe everything you see and everything you read and everything you hear, it's gonna affect your magic. It's gonna affect the level of magic that you'll be capable of doing. So one of the reasons why I'm capable of doing high level magic is because I don't believe in reality. I believe in me. I believe in, and when I say I believe in me, that means I believe in magic. I don't believe in the things I don't believe what I see with my own eyes. Like, even if I see something with my own eyes, I'm not gonna believe it. So it takes a lot to, like, fool me into something. Like, it takes, like, a tremendous amount of force to make me believe something, because I originally don't think that this is real. You know what I mean? Like, even though I know that this is real, I don't think it's real. I think I'm real. I think my magic is real. I think that I am the creator of every day. I do think that the people I manifest into my life are real, but those people, I manifest them into my life because I thought they were real. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying here, but anyway. So this is because I appreciated those people regardless of the state of realism that I'm living within or without. Yeah. So, and that's better. It's like we're in the forest, right? And there's so many trees, right? But you can see in the distance a shadowy figure, right? Then there's so many trees, and the trees are so dense and hard that you can't reach that person. And those trees represent society, idealism, idiocracy, idiosyncrasism, idioms, ideals, imagination, creativity, like peer pressure, familyhood, parenthood, brotherhood, sisterhood, calls to government. Like, all those trees represent people and things, right? That you put into your life. And also other people, of course. But you're the one that accepted that tree to be planted in your forest. So at some point in life, you're going to have to take a chainsaw and cut all those fucking trees, so that the shadowy figure that you see far away, that you know who that person is. He's shadowy because the forest is so dense. But you know that's a good person. You love that person. Whoever that person is over there, you love that fucking person. That person's fucking great. And you know, you want that person to reach you, or you want to reach them. So one day, you're going to have to take a chainsaw and just like raise the forest. I'm sorry, trees. You know, but you can build new trees. Okay, you can build a new forest, and it's better if you build a more simpler forest with less trees in it, so that people can come through and things can come through, right? So forget all that. Forget all those things. I know it's not easy, and you're probably not gonna do it. You're probably not gonna do it, but if I would have to give you some advice after reading that book anyways, if you need any advice in the first place anyways, forget all that, man. Forget all those particular magic tricks, you know, and do try to steady yourself, because you do have this tendency to, like, you have this like octopus kind of thing where you're going in one direction, then you're going in the other, and there's nothing wrong with being an octopus. Octopuses are cool. But it's just like you're reaching for things, but you're reaching for things, and those things are not clear. It's not you that's not clear. Is what you're reaching for is ambiguous. You know what I mean? Focus your energy. Focus your energy. Don't be short-sighted, but focus your energy on something. When you focus all your energy on one point, that point is way more powerful than all the other points that you're like extending yourself towards to, you know. So I'm gonna shut the fuck up right now, because now I'm treading the line of being disrespectful by assuming that you don't know all of these things, even though you kind of talk about it in your book. And I'm going to let you go. Have a good one. Peace out.